Hello, Princess. How are you? We on a different day tonight. We have a special guest tonight. So yeah, but we will definitely be here tomorrow. How's everyone doing on this Monday? We will not keep you long tonight. We just wanted to do something special um, to let the people know that's competing this weekend and everything was going on. So we wanted to speak with our the owner and promoter and stuff, and kind of give an insight on how he started and what made him come about with Renaissance, and just clear up some things, some misconceptions and stuff. So yeah, so let me know when you're in the room. Share it if you don't mind, and just talk to me until they come in. How's everyone doing? Well, you have to pay attention to your dates, Rakeem. If you read the flyers, they'll let you know exactly when it's what. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. She is so beautiful. Thank you, girl. I ain't even gonna begin to tell you how I've been wrestling with this hair for the last 30 minutes. So yeah. Hey, Maurice. What is everyone doing on this Monday? People are late. I hate people that are late, but I will start without you and I will end without you too. So yeah. What's going on in y'all's world? Oh, hold on, hold on. Okay, I had to take the do not disturb on. What's up? So yeah, real quick, Renaissance is this weekend. Mr. Miss, as well as Mr. Miss Opulence, honoring myself, Fashe A.K. Wendell, um, Vanessa Frost, and Scooby West Lord. It will be at the Starling Hotel, downtown Atlanta, at 6 p.m. on Sunday evening. And it will start on time. If I have anything to do with it. So please come out and support your contestant, or just come support the court. I would love to see everyone that can come. We are doing a national walk that is available. Well, the walk of recognition to anyone that wants to walk for the system. Check-in is at 5:30. If you want a van, you can do that. You can contact Randall for that. Host hotel is the Starling. Anyone looking for somewhere to stay? If you are a contestant, 5 more days. Bianca, are you ready, love? I'm glad to see you back on the market. You guys must keep this going. It's very interesting to the Icon Entertainment. Yeah, I I don't know about that, but thank you. Um, if you are contestant, registration is 9 a.m. Yes, we know that it's early considering everyone else does registrations at like 12 and 1, but it's 9, so we can get you in and out. Registration at 9, orientation at 10, interview start at 11. Because we have what is called our harvest dinner, kind of like a Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving that Saturday night. Um, at Best Friends from 4 to 7. So we want you to be able to go home, come about all of that, interview, makeup, and stuff, and then come over to Best Friends and enjoy that with the Renaissance family. So that's why Rhonda wants things a little earlier, and I'm all for it. Get in and out. Thank you. And so yeah, and so we look forward to that. There's my king in his car, so hopefully we'll be able to. Yeah, so there he is. So yeah, hopefully everyone will be able to come out. If not, that's totally fine. We get it. It's the week of Thanksgiving. Trust me, understand. But yeah, so that's that with the announcements as far as that's concerned. Yeah, 5 days, guys. Yeah. Hey Pookie. Hey, Biggs. I see you on another panel, Biggs. They really must don't know you be tearing the girls up. Mhm. Any announcements from you?
No, just how many more days? Five, 5 more days. Let's go. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. I'm really excited. So I'm just excited for the contest. It's been like a great year. So I'm looking forward to what's to come after. Or if well, maybe. But no, you look lovely. You got you had a date.
No, I go to work.
Well, you put a little juice on and your hair is looking lovely. But no, but it's I'm just excited. I'm excited about Randall tonight. I'm excited about the interview tomorrow.
Yes,
So
guys,
it's
make
like
sure you are tuning in tomorrow, same time with Tasha Long. You guys have been
yeah.
begging us to get Tasha. We made it her last for a specific reason. So I'm sure she's going to give us a master class. She's going to give us a lot of wisdom. She's going to give us a lot of insight. And so make sure you are tuned in. Share when we post the flyer again. Share it. Make sure everybody's here because we definitely want to give her her G's, her flowers. She is 60, I think 60 years old, still in the game, 40 plus years, if I'm
Wow.
not mistaken. So yeah, make sure
That's
that you are tuned in
amazing.
to her tomorrow. See you guys this weekend. Congrats. Thank you so much, Bees. Can't wait to see you. Hey, Demaria. How are
Yeah, it's
you?
actually been an amazing year. Like I was thinking about some of the guests. So we've had some
Yeah,
amazing
we've
people.
had some heavy hitters come on. That's one. Yeah, we
We've
definitely
had
had
some amazing.
some bad bitches.
And
So,
yeah, and to think that we started with Tommy Ross in her 60s and we're ending with Tasha Long. We literally started and stopped with two major icons. So I
yeah,
love this.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so we are definitely excited. I don't know where Randall is, but I hope he comes on.
We have Randall the Extraordinaire.
Yeah, we just want to talk to him for an hour or so, kind of pick his brain about things and let him talk and um stuff. Can you text him and tell him to come on?
Yeah.
Or I know he was doing something. Thank you, Demario. Thank you so much. We'll see what's to come. Oh, and I'm also here. Um, it has nothing to do with this platform, but I was asked to interview Tanishi Iman. She has a network, you guys, and called the Tanishi Iman Network. She wants to do an interview, and she called me one day and said, "Can you do it?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So I'll be doing that, and then I think King has something going on with the Kings or whatever or what have you. Tell them about that.
Yeah, well, we're just going to have a conversation, which has been an ongoing conversation for the most part about male leads in pageantry, masculinity versus femininity. And so we just want to discuss it. So we have some people going to come on that are on both ends of the spectrum. Some of them are masculine presenting, and some are not so much so. And we just want to talk about, have a conversation about what does it mean, where is it going, or should it be a thing? So it's going to be a positive conversation. It's not going to be negative for sure. We have Neandre Bonet, Valentino, Kendall, Brinkley, Tarico. I think I'm forgetting somebody, but yeah. Oh, and we have Mr. Johnny Thomas, a icon in the Black community for sure. So we're gonna have a lot of perspectives just to discuss what everyone has been talking about anyway in the
Mhm.
back room. So I just felt like it would be good for male leads to actually have lead the conversation. So
Are
it's
you all
exciting.
stopping the show with the Queens? Not really sure what that means. Um, Um,
Stopping the show
yeah,
with
you
the
better tag
queens.
him for sweetheart and not me. Um, so we wanted to do this show tonight. So if y'all don't remember, back in, so let's explain how this came about. Y'all know I'm OCD, and y'all know I like to do things punctual and in order. So when we won Renaissance, there was in the contract we had like 45 days to have our promos turned in, and somehow there was a miscommunication with Tio, and he ended up canceling a booking in Atlanta, or he didn't come to Atlanta. So
Yeah.
it freaked me out because I was like, oh my God, we're not going to have our promos. What are we going to do? We're going to get in trouble. And so we called Randall, and Randall was very understanding. He was like, it's my communication. I said, we won't be able to do our promos till Western weekend. That's literally the 45th day. So you have to wait another like 20 something days before TOs can do anything. So we're not going to have our promos in time. What can we do? Mind you, we had already did the first community service project. I think we had already did one walk or something. And so
Yeah, we
Randall
had done
said, well,
King and
let me
Queen.
interview you guys, and it could be like a meeting of you all. And so we was like, oh, that's a good idea. So that's how it kind of came about. Then my heads turned and said, well, let's do icons and legends with my king. And so then we came with the idea of doing icons and legends, and him being the grandchild of Tommy Ross, it was just easier for us to have her on as first. And then I came up with the name Off the Record because we wanted to be a conversation off the record. We didn't want them to come on being politically correct and for the community, although most of them did.
Well, and
But
also let them know that that's why you wanted it to be this type of setting, because you wanted it to
yeah,
be
we
more
didn't want the
relaxed.
whole sitting face to face thing. We wanted to be like you were literally sitting, talking to your girlfriends at kitchen talk. We didn't want the formal setting. I still don't. We always get that. Y'all should do a studio. Y'all should. We didn't want that. That's not what we wanted. We wanted us to be like, girl, what's the tea? Like you FaceTiming. Unfortunately, we understand that a lot of our entertainers have an image to uphold, so they didn't want to come on with certain things. Although let's be very clear, we did not want it to be a messy show. We definitely didn't
Yeah.
want that. We just wanted to know how you started. Da-da-da, da-da-da. If you came on with some tea, we was okay with that. But we weren't going to indulge into that, or we weren't going to pry into certain
Yeah.
things because we just did. We wanted to
It was
kind
just a
of
conversation.
separate our platform from others. And so that's how this platform came about. Randall wanted to interview us first, and then we kind of turned our heads and said, well, let's take it further. Um, so, yeah, we wanted to bring Randall on last. Actually, we are going to do it Thursday, but I have a prior engagement, so we had to push him up. But it makes perfect sense. He's here 5 days prior to the pageant, so he can talk about that, and we'll get into some nitty gritties of some situations that I'm
Yeah.
sure, wants to talk about. But he is ready to go, and we won't be on for that long. But welcome. He is the owner proprietor of Renaissance Pageant System, Mr. Randall K Smith.
Well, hello, 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 everyone. How's
Hey,
everybody this
Hi.
afternoon, this
Randall.
evening? Hello, good to see you guys.
How are you?
I am amazing. I'm amazing. It's pageant week, so it's full fledged ahead, whether I'm ready or not.
Well, we know you're gonna be ready. You're very much like me, a little OCD. So,
Exactly, exactly.
well, we definitely had already talked about from the beginning to bring you back to circle back around. So this is definitely a full circle moment for us because you interviewed us first,
Yes,
and now it's our turn to get in your business. And
absolutely.
but first, I just want to say from me to you, thank you for having this platform for the past 25 years. Um, I think that you are someone that means well. You want to do well. I think that you sometimes, we'll get into all of that. You sometimes get the bad end of the stick for whatever reason. But I personally, this is from Trinity to Randall. I appreciate the Renaissance Pageant System. I appreciate what it has done for me this year. You know exactly what I wanted and needed when I came to you, and it has fulfilled everything that I wanted. Me and you have had the best relationship. Now you pissed me off 2 weeks ago, but we got through that. But we got through that communication. I was mad
Absolutely.
at you for about a week, but I got
Okay,
over it. But
okay.
I thank you for having this system and for what it means to me, community service. I love stuff like that. I hate preparing for competitions. I hate competitions, but I love raining. And I know that sounds crazy because you got to do both of those things in order to get to that. But yeah, from me to you, thank you, thank you, thank you for 25 years of excellence with Renaissance. And I'm sure King has some things he wants to say first too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a hard act to follow, so I'll keep mine simple. I think that you're great. I think you're amazing. I always say that I don't care about anything I hear about anyone because there's something out in the streets on everyone. So I never get caught up in that. I just find that my experience with you was absolutely lovely. I thought that you treated us like first class, and I appreciated it. I felt like you put a lot of attention on mental health from the start. And I think that that was very important because we all needed that, although you were dealing with your thing, but it gave us all an opportunity for us to, I guess you could say, look into ourselves and see the things that we need as far as peace of mind. And that is what's most important to me. So I thank you for just always accepting. You were always just very accepting. And that's what I care about the most. I think that in this community, we have a lot of judges and jurors, but we don't have that many defendants in their minds. But in reality, we're all defendants to a certain point. So I don't think that anyone has the right to prosecute anyone. So I'm not here to prosecute you or anyone else, but I am here to tell you thank you for being great for me because you were absolutely great for me. And thank you for
Mhm.
understanding my crazy schedule and always accepting my schedule and not fighting with me over my schedule. So that was really important. So thank you so much, Randall.
No, both of you all have been amazing all year. It's been a wonderful journey, and that's what I think is so amazing. You take the person where they are, and you meet a person where they are, and you go from there. And both of you all have come into the rain and have been stellar. Have created such a major movement, major moments, and I am honored to say thank you that you all are part of my family now. You all are family, and that's important. And in Trinity, yes, family fights, and that's okay. We don't disagree, and it's okay. But mostly what you will find about Randall, I'll never fight you publicly.
Mhm.
No
Right.
one will ever know that we've had a fight. That's just not my aura. That's not who I am. So our fighting is about because we love each other enough to get to our end goal. So that's what's most
Yeah.
important to me.
And before y'all run with that, it was
Amen.
not a fight or
It
anything
wasn't
like
a
that.
fight.
It
No.
was something said that could have been misinterpreted.
Correct,
That's all it
correct.
was.
It wasn't a fight. Yeah, we
It
we
wasn't
all
a
get in our
fight.
feelings. We all
Yeah.
get in our feelings.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. So let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
Who is Randall K. Smith?
Wow. Randall K. Smith, the little queen, the little Nelly queen who's always been him. He was born in Anniston, Alabama, and of course reared in Alabama, and was always theatrical. Was in his room. He was the only child. Was in his room playing with cassette tapes, making cassette tapes hair. Playing with dolls. Charlie's Angels was my favorite television show. Jacqueline Smith was my favorite actress. And I loved Pam Grier because I got the opportunity to go to the movies to see Pam Grier's nasty movies. My cousins would take me to there to see Pam Grier and her dirty movies back in the 70s. Now you got to remember, I'm a 60s baby. So, back in the 70s, I was going to see Pam Grier and I love Pam Grier, so I thought I was Friday Foster. So I had imaginary friends. I was in the room. So I just got the opportunity to just be me. And I've always been me. I've always been outgoing. I've always been Randall. I've never hid who I was. I've always been comfortable in my skin. And sometimes that would have been too much for some people, but it was always enough for me. So Randall is just that fun-loving, fashion-forward person who thought he was going to be an attorney, but most important, knew that he was going to be in the beauty business.
Right. Okay. So, when did Randall get introduced to pageantry?
uh, in my living room in my parents' house, we had a big console TV, and Miss America and Miss USA just happened to be on my TV, and I would never miss it. So from an early age, I was watching Miss America and Miss USA.
Okay.
And when I got to high school, my homeroom teacher was probably about 500 pounds. He was over the choir. And I did some modeling, some fitness modeling, because I was a gymnast in Anniston. I did gymnastics and I was a gymnast, and I was a fitness model. So I was on all the billboards in Anniston for the sports companies.
Yes.
And so he was like, I know who you are when I first walked in his homeroom. He said, you're on all the billboards. I need you to help me with my pageants. So he got me started helping the girls show them how to walk. I'm like, I have no idea how to walk. I don't know what I'm doing. He said, well, just get up there and walk. I can't walk. I'm too big. So I started choreographing Miss Calhoun County and Miss Northeast Alabama. And
Mhm.
I did that for 3 years while I was in high school. And then my last year of high school, he sent me to the director's meeting for Miss Alabama. And that's when I started working with Miss Alabama America.
Okay.
And I started coaching girls, working with girls, showing them how to walk and everything. Then when I went to the University of Alabama, I started working with the Miss Corolla pageant and the Miss University of Alabama pageant, and the sky's been the limit. So I started coaching girls for Miss Alpha Phi Alpha. I was doing all kind of stuff, working, coaching, and doing trial and error with all of my girlfriends in college. So that's how pageantry got started. So I've always had a love for pageantry since the age of 6 and have been doing it ever since.
Mm.
And of course, started working more as a field director for Miss Alabama and coaching girls and working and getting girls ready for Miss America and Miss USA.
How many Miss Americas or Miss USAs do you have under your belt?
I have about 8 Miss Americas and 5 Miss USAs
Wow.
and
So guys,
tons
when
of,
I make the comment, he knows what he's talking about. Listen to me. He is
and I
coach.
have tons of top 10 and top 5s and
Right.
talent winners and evening gown winners and all of those wonderful things, that accolades that goes along with it.
Do you have a favorite?
I don't have a favorite. I
Okay.
really don't have a favorite. And for years I thought I would have a favorite, but they've all been near and dear to my heart for certain reasons.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's fair.
Gotcha. So you did that through college and then you did that through your adulthood. So when did you decide, and I know I'm skipping around,
It's
but
fine.
when
It's
did
fine.
you decide Renaissance?
Well,
When you took
actually,
that?
I got the opportunity in 1989. In the late 80s, when I moved to Atlanta, I was working at the Apparel Mart. And I had a very good friend who was very good friends to Kiwi Dixon. Y'all
Mhm.
know Kiwi
Mhm.
from
TV,
Universe.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I would had a very good friend who was very good friends to Kiwi. So my friend told him I did pageants and stuff, and so Kiwi got me to judge Universe. So I started judging Black Universe for over 15 years. When I first moved to Atlanta, I started judging Black Universe, and I loved pageantry. So Black Universe gave me a different spin on pageantry. I
Mm.
thought, wow, if I could see a man look like that, God, I know I can take a girl and do the same thing. So I started using those tricks of the trade and learning the tricks of the trade of what our guys were doing at Black Universe and taking it to my cisgender clients. So making them more elegant, making them more beading, making them more glamorous. And that's how I really got started. But then of course, as you sit there on the panel, you start learning things. You're like, well, I probably could do this. I really could do this. And because we have a component in the cisgender community, a community service, which I have a passion for, I loved community service. I love working with my girls on their platforms. Back in the day, we called them platforms. I would love their platforms, whether it was HIV, whether it was breast cancer, whether it was illiteracy, whatever that platform was, I was able to work with them and help them to develop a platform. So I thought, well, this is something that drag doesn't have, is a platform. They don't have community service. We're not doing that on that side of the community. And that's how I started Renaissance, because I wanted Renaissance to be more than a pageant. I wanted it to be a pageant with a purpose. And that's one of our missions,
Yeah.
to be more than a pageant, but a pageant with a purpose. And when I got started in 2000, the year 2000 was when we did our emeritus and got it started. And that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be about community service and about community base,
But what made you come up with the name Renaissance?
because I wanted it to be a
Okay.
rebirth of drag.
Okay.
Yeah,
And who were
Renaissance means
the
a rebirth.
emeritus, just in case anyone doesn't know?
Anyone that doesn't know, was the wonderful and dynamic Naisha Dupree was our emeritus plus. Jennifer St. John was our emeritus miss, and DeAndre was our emeritus mister.
Okay.
Oh.
And we've been around 25 years now.
Wow, long time. Long time. I didn't know I would last that long.
Okay. So any regrets from the
Always.
time that you moved to Atlanta, started judging Universe, to the conception of Renaissance? Anything
People
that
say
you would have done differently?
people say they don't have regrets. Always. I always have regrets. My regrets is what make me strong. My
Mm.
regrets are what makes me better. So yes, I have regrets all the time. So not that I would have done things differently, but I would use those regrets and make them better.
Care to share one?
Uh, Coming in, I'll tell you, I'll give you a first story. So back in 2000, gosh, 25 years ago, ooh, I was a baby. I was 20 something years old. So when I started being in my 20s, being in my 20s, I came in bullheaded, thinking I was going to change things, thinking I was going to make things happen. I was going to take this drag world to a whole different level.
Mhm.
And I hit a brick wall. I hit a brick wall because our community does things differently. We thrive on differences. And you can't come in thinking that you're going to change somebody or make somebody do something according to you. So
Mm.
I had to learn how to navigate our community. And so you hit a lot of brick walls and a lot of apprehensions. But that's what made me work harder and make me work better. When you tell me I can't do something, that only gives me fuel. So that's literally one of the biggest regrets is coming in thinking that I knew more than anybody else and that I was going to change the world. But they showed me immediately, no, that's not how you're going to do this. But you had to be a little bit more strategic in how to do it.
Okay. So when you were a child and when you were growing up and when you went off to UA, was this profession that you're in what you always felt like you were going to be
Absolutely. I knew I always thought growing up because I would go to boys club and boys retreats in Montgomery, Alabama at our capital. And
in?
I would be the only African American probably in that whole group of uh, 500 students. And I would go there every summer and we would write bills and legislation on Capitol. So I thought I was going to be an attorney. I thought I was actually going to be an attorney, and I was going to, I always loved fashion. I always dressed well. My little parents, by no means were they rich, but I had an account downtown. All I had to do was go to that account, and they would call my dad and say, "Mr. Smith, Randall's is in here. Can he get these clothes?" And my dad would say, "Yes," because he called me Sonny Boy. Yes, my Sonny Boy could get those clothes. And
Right.
I always dressed well, and I always did those. But I thought I was going to be an attorney. But fortunately, I always had a love for fashion. I always had a love for fashion, and that was my passion, fashion and beauty. So when I went to the University of Alabama, I majored in fashion merchandising. And because I was a great student, I was on the dean's list. I got to the UA and I took a sewing class my freshman year. And accidentally, that sewing class was for seniors. So they started talking about midway through, they started talking about interns. And Dr. Green was my teacher, and she says, well, Randall, what are you going to do for your intern? I said, intern? I got 3 years before I do an intern. She said, 3 years? She said, you're not a freshman? I said, yes, I'm a freshman. So she was like, how did you get in my class and you have the highest grade? I said, I don't know. Well, Dr. Green didn't say anything else. 2 weeks later, the dean of the business school called me in, and I thought I was in trouble. He called me in. He said, well, Dr. Green says that you are a freshman and accidentally got in her class. And I was like, yeah. He said, well, you're in the wrong school. I said, what do you mean? He said, you don't need to be in the school of merchandising. He said, you need to get a business degree. He said, you need to get a business degree. So we're transferring you to Big Good. You're going to get a business degree and we're going to give you a minor in fashion merchandising. I thought, wow. I said, okay. So I started taking business courses. And that's literally how I went to there. So then that's when I learned about marketing. And I said, okay, I can still do marketing. I can just still do fashion. I can still do branding. But marketing was my passion, but doing it through the fashion world.
Okay. Gotcha. King.
No, well, I was curious. It's a little off, but when you were in college, weren't you a cheerleader
I was a cheerleader in high school.
in
And
high
I,
school?
I was a cheerleader in high school. And I was going to try out for the University of Alabama. And I did come from a strict household. And I got to the University of Alabama and I was trying out for cheerleader. And there was this young man who was there. And unfortunately, he was an African American young man. And they had switched our rehearsal, our practice from one gym to the other. And I gave him a ride. And when I gave him a ride over to the other location, later on that night, the cheerleading coach called me and she said, Randall, you're going to make the team, but we don't need you hanging out with that kind of person. And I said, excuse me? we don't need you hanging out with the guy you had with you at rehearsal. I said, excuse me? She said, that's not a good look for our cheerleaders. And that blew me for a loop. He wasn't clean, he wasn't polished, he wasn't the most attractive guy, but he was trying out for cheerleader. And I called my mom and I sat in my apartment in the middle of the night and I cried. I cried like a baby because at that point I was on a presidential scholarship. And I was going to take the cheerleading scholarship as well. But at that point, I knew that I didn't want to be a cheerleader at the University of Alabama because I had just left my mama's household and she was strict and I didn't want nobody watching me. And I was devastated. So
Mhm.
at that point, I went in the next day and I resigned from trying out.
Oh,
And guess who made the team?
he did.
The token black made the team.
Oh my! You know they had to have a token black,
They had to have a token black, and I was gonna be the token black.
right?
So,
Oh,
but because I taught at NCA camp, I was a cheerleader camp, I taught at all of those things, and I tumbled from one end of the field to the next.
Mm-hmm.
I could do 25 to 30 back handsprings in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. So I
well,
taught
me out.
all of that wonderful stuff, but I was gonna be the token black. But he made it, and he made it for 2 years until a more attractive black guy came on.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but that's why I didn't try out for cheerleader at the University of Alabama. But I was gonna make it.
Makes sense.
Okay. What is Randall's favorite food to eat?
Wow, my favorite food to eat is oxtails.
Okay. Can you cook them?
I can.
You
I've
don't,
learned to.
but you know what? You don't give me you're a cooker.
I'm a very good cook, Trinity.
Well, why we ain't never had?
Because when you come to town, you don't come see me.
Oh,
You or Wendell don't come over here. But I'm a very good cook.
We were supposed to
okay,
go for brunch at one point. I forgot what happened.
We
I think we
were,
got
we were.
busy.
But I love cooking. Actually,
okay, all
I
right.
do. I love cooking. I
What's
make
your
great
favorite
pound.
color?
But if Beyonce is on here, I love great pound cakes. Now Christian doesn't like my pound cake because there's not a lot of lemon in it. He want me to put too much lemon in my pound cake. But I make great pound cake as well.
Oh, okay. I'm okay. We're gonna hold you to that. What's your favorite color?
Red.
Why?
I've always been fascinated with red. I don't know why. It's always been my favorite color. Now, my favorite color to wear is black, but my favorite color is red. That's where hence Renaissance is red and
Right.
black.
Yeah. Red and black. Okay. What is your favorite pastime?
Spas.
Spas. Oh, yes, you love your spas.
I love the spas.
Your do-
I love self-care. I love pampering.
your daughter says you are right in the kitchen, Nicole.
Oh, I need to call her because we were supposed to meet today. But tell her I'm not her. She's a great chef.
You know she's
You're
a
telling
country
her.
girl cooking.
Yeah, she's a culinary artist, and then she wants to make it look pretty.
Yes.
Shout out
We
to
look
Nicole.
forward to when
She's an
she goes to
excellent
get that
cook.
degree.
She's an
Yeah.
excellent cook, and she's a culinary chef, and she's gonna make it look pretty. She's gonna give you the 5-course meal.
Mhm. Who is your favorite artist growing up? Your favorite musician?
Michael Jackson.
Okay. Could you do the moonwalk and
I
stuff?
can do the moonwalk, yeah, and the pop locking. I can do the moonwalk.
Oh, okay. Look at
Oh,
you.
I want to see
Um,
you pop lock this weekend.
Oh, girl, baby.
what are three things that you could work on about yourself?
Being more approachable, being more
Mhm,
trusting, and most
mhm,
important, being more forgiving.
Mm.
mhm. So let's dig into that. You're
Mhm.
not a forgiving person, or
I
it takes you
haven't
a
been
while.
I haven't been in my early years of life, and I'm learning to do that better because I'm learning to let go.
Okay. When it comes to
That's good.
trusting, where does that come from? Not
I've
trusting
always
anyone.
been able to only trust myself and my parents because I guess because of the only child. And I tell people that all day long. When you realize there's a lot of selfishness when it comes to only children. But I'm going to say that I have a lot of selfishness and I'm within myself. And so with that, I just feel like I can't trust people with my heart, with my feelings, with my emotions.
Mm.
Mm,
And I know that that's one of my character, whether it's a character flaw or not. I know that I've not always been very trusting.
okay. And we'll get to that a little further. What is something that you would never want to do again in your life?
Gosh, gosh, I wouldn't. I don't know anything off the top of my head. I would say that I would never want to do again.
Mhm. Okay. Your favorite city to visit?
New York.
Okay.
Of course.
Yes, New York City.
Your favorite movie of all time?
Gosh. I'm going to say Waiting to Exhale.
Oh, I would have thought you would have said something like Invitation to Life or one of
No,
those 50s movies.
no.
You give me very 1950s
Oh,
Hollywood. Great.
exactly. No, I just really loved Waiting to Exhale. I thought it was really fun. The music and all of that was amazing.
Oh yeah, that soundtrack was great.
Hmm.
What is something that you would love to do in the future?
Live abroad.
Oh, any particular place?
I'm actually thinking Paris.
Oh, oui.
Yes, we are. Parlez-vous français?
Yes. Your favorite fragrance?
I love wearing ouds from Dubai.
Okay. Have you
You'll
been to
catch
Dubai?
me.
I like that.
I have not been to Dubai. That's actually on my bucket list for the early next year.
Okay. Are you taking your new court with you?
Oh, I would love that. But my son and I and his biological mother are planning on going to Dubai.
Okay. I'm jealous. Anyway,
Me too.
I'm jealous. What is something that you feel as though can be fixed in our community?
Oh, our negativity.
Mhm.
Our negativity. We wear our feelings on our sleeve. We are so easy to fight and beat each other up when really all we want to do is be loved. And I think that's our
Yeah.
biggest thing. It's just negativity. I think, we come into this lifestyle. Oh, you're reading me. Oh, she at me. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't talk to me like that. And it's we automatically come in thinking somebody is at us or want to hurt us or want to harm us. And I think that just comes from trauma. That comes from childhood trauma.
Mm.
We
Yep,
carry we, we carry a whole lot of we carry a whole lot of mess in our message.
mhm. Yeah, that is true. If you could pick a celebrity to be a best friend with, who would they be?
Vanessa Williams. She's
Have you
always been
met
my
her?
best friend in my head, huh?
Have you met her?
Yes, she came to Miss Alabama. She came to treated very poorly in 1984. She came to Talladega Motor Speedway, and she and I
Yeah.
became friends at that time. So did Debbie Turner, and Marjorie Judith Vincent, and all of them came to Alabama State when I was helping out with Miss Alabama State and judging and as the head judge for Miss Alabama State. So all of the Miss Americas, especially the African Americans, came to Alabama, and we all hit it off. And we're all friends now. Debbie's pet name for me is Randall Scandal.
Oh, I could believe it. Who's your all-time celebrity crush?
Wow. Hmm. That's going to have to be Billy D. Williams.
I could see that. Hey.
Yeah, that's going to have to be Billy D. Williams. And
Okay.
Lady Sings the Blue Mahogany. Oh my gosh, that was
Yeah.
Billy
Yeah.
D. Williams. Yes.
What's your favorite song?
That's going to be very tough. That I don't really have a favorite song. I'm not that music lover, but I don't have a
Okay.
favorite song.
Okay. He said, "Hey, Lady Montanat, Valentino
No,
called you
that's
that."
Valentino, honey.
Yes.
That is my Valentino.
Okay. Yes. He Valley. That's my Willy
And actually,
Wonka.
I'm gonna tell you a story about that. I'm gonna tell you.
Hmm.
Thank you, Val, because when Venus, and Brittany were reigning, we talked about image. We talked about image earlier and perception. And people always thought Randall is this bitch, and Randall is so mean, and Randall is so unapproachable, and Randall is this, and Randall is that. And during Val's year, with Val and I going back and forth on Facebook, fighting with each other, showing each other love through fighting and laughing with each other, teasing each other, doing stuff, that's when people got to see a softer side of Randall. And I have to thank Val for that. So we fight each other, but one thing we do, we love each other. And
Right.
we go back and forth. But Val's year gave me another reason and another thing to grow in our community. That's when people saw a different side of Randall.
Okay.
Because people don't know Randall, so they come up with these assumptions. If Chris Higgins could chime in, he'll tell you, I'm ghetto fish.
Yeah. When I saw you
I
in
can,
your urban wear, like at the
yeah.
trip, I said, "What in the world is this?"
So I just act like the rich white woman from Buckhead.
Yes, exactly. What is your passion in life, Randall?
My passion is life to help people. I want to find people better than I found them. I want to make them the best way possible and let them thrive in their way.
Got you. Ballard says you are his absolute fave. He loves you and he values you and his experience so much. So,
Love you too, Val.
former Mr. Renaissance. Let's play the
Shout out to
game.
Val.
Time for the game. The first word that comes to your mind when I give you the name, place, whatever.
I wonder what this is gonna be. I'm like, okay, I wonder
No, I'm not
what
gonna
kind of
give it to
research
you
that
like
she
that.
tried to
It's gonna be
figure
real
out.
easy. It's gonna be real
Okay,
easy.
okay, okay.
Number one, your daughter, Nicole Love Dupree.
My baby girl, tall, tantalizing, and talented.
Okay. Tall, tantalizing, and talented. Will she be there this weekend?
She better be.
Okay. Number two, Isaiah Wiley.
The pain in my assets. My grandchild that gives me a hard time.
Okay.
He think
We
he's my
love.
daddy. He think he's my daddy, my husband, my counselor, and everything.
Okay. Anniston, Alabama.
Anderson, Alabama is always gonna be home. Never want to be there again, but it's home.
Do you ever happen to like go back to see extended family?
I
No.
do. My house is there. My home house is there,
Okay.
and I go visit my mom's grave, and I have cousins there. So I do go back, and I have to go check on the house every now and then. So I'll sneak in Anniston, and I sneak out.
Okay. Gotcha. Number four. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of the Miss America organization?
My foundation. Miss America taught me a whole lot because what happens with Miss America, it taught me how to interview. It taught me how to train girls. It taught me how to have great etiquette. It taught me how to be a community servant. It taught me truly how to navigate through life. Miss America gave me a foundation of to be a better person and to be the best person I want to be in life.
Okay. Number five. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Amelia Black?
That is my girlfriend. That is my girlfriend that I can talk fashion all day long, but she's a wonderful confidant and a very good friend.
Okay. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of not a specific one, but just community service as a whole?
Uh repeat I'm sorry, repeat that. I'm sorry.
When you think of community service, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I'm gonna always have to put it back in Renaissance Cares. That's one of the things that's what comes to my mind. Renaissance Cares. That's why I created that platform to be an advocate for the community, to find it and make it better.
Okay. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Vanessa Frost?
Vanessa Frost, the beauty of Renaissance.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Oh.
mother. What?
I knew you. I knew I would get you. I knew I would get you.
We'd like to
Exactly.
thank you all for tuning in tonight. We will see you this weekend. Hold
You are silly. You all are all beautiful.
on. What's the Scooby West Lord?
You know, Scooby is a protector. He's a protector.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You know, he has that nurturing spirit, just that protector.
Okay. Number nine, Fashay B. Ross.
A rock. He's my rock. You know, I can call him at any time and talk, and we can chat. And you know, I say he's a rock. He's a rock of foundation.
I'm with you, Nicole. Hold on now. Shy. And number 10 was the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Trinity Black. Santiago Black.
Oh, okay, right. She got a new name. She got a new name. She got a new name. She know I have another name for her, but
Mm-hmm.
she's compassionate. She's loving, and she has so much to offer to this community.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of
Uh-huh.
Trinity, we're gonna get to
Uh-huh.
the smoke, y'all.
Uh-huh.
Were you scared to crown me?
No,
Okay.
no. No, and I tell you this story because years ago, as you mentioned, Isaiah Wiley, you know, my daddy, my husband, my boyfriend, my child, my grandchild, my whatever he wanted to be at that day. He said a few years ago, he said, "Would you crown her? Because you know she can be controversial." And I said, "Yes," and I stand true by what I say. I think that controversy can breed success.
Mhm.
And it's just all how you channel it. And
Mhm.
we all grow. And I wish, and that's what I want people to understand, even from this interview. None of us are perfect. I'm
Mhm.
not perfect. I am imperfectly flawed.
Mhm.
I can't expect you to be something that I'm not. I'm not
Mm.
perfect. You're not perfect. These people that are out here that are judging all of us, they're not perfect. So what we have to understand is we have to give people a chance. We have to give you a chance to show people who you really are. And I knew that you had a good heart. And when you called me and said, would I crown you after Duval? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And as you see, it's been successful. And it's been nothing but sky's the limit. And you
That is
branded
true.
yourself to be the person that you are. So that's what I said. We're only going up from here. But we're
Right.
all human. People make mistakes and none of us are perfect.
Well, speaking of, controversy and stuff, it seems that it's always something when it comes to Renaissance or when it comes to Randall. Where do
Mhm.
you think that stems from? Where do you think that comes from? Do you have any accountability in that? Like, what can
Absolutely.
you say about that?
Absolutely. And I'll go back to 20 years ago when
Hmm.
when Renaissance, when 25 years ago, when Renaissance first became, we were beaten down. We were beaten down by other systems because they didn't want us to thrive. They didn't want us to do well. So people start branding you with an image. They start branding you with an image. And no, I was not in the community and I was not of the community. I would come and judge Black Universe and I would go and I wouldn't see the community anymore. I didn't hang out in bars. I didn't hang out in clubs. I didn't hang out at all the people's homes. I would come in and do what I had to do. Then when I would judge Black Universe, then the people started saying I was the hard judge. I was the mean judge. I was the ones that was giving ones and twos. Yes, I was hard. Yes, I was mean. Yes, I was difficult and all of that, but they would put the blame on me. Of course, I wasn't in the community, so that was a great escape,
Hmm.
for
Right.
15 years. So of course, when I came along with my pageant, that's why I don't judge as much because then people start judging your pageant based upon how you judge them. So people started judging me based upon other people's paintbrushes without even knowing me.
Right.
So
Because you.
and I don't fight public battles.
Mhm.
I don't fight public battles because people are going to believe what they want to believe. People are going to say and think of you what they want to think. There's no reason for me to try to prove you wrong.
Right.
Some of it could be right, some of it could be wrong, but I'm not going to fight that battle in public with you.
You've had the image of he only wants the pretty girls. He only wants the masculine men. You can't wear blue jeans in public. You have to do this. You have to do that. Is either of that true? Has it been
Yes,
true at one time? Or
yes,
oh.
yes, yes. It's true. It's a beauty pageant. And pretty is in the eye of, that's why I said, come on, people. Hey, you hearing it from me. This is real. This is raw. Yes.
Okay.
Who won't Who's gonna sit
Okay.
on this phone on this? Who's gonna sit here and say they want something ugly? Nobody. Let's just be real. So no. So I've always come from a beauty pageant realm. So yes, I want things that are pretty. I want things that are beauty. Now I didn't care about a man's masculinity, but I did care that a man carried himself masculinely. But
Mhm.
today's people, I have learned and grown that I will accept whatever because life is about all the differences that we provide.
Mhm.
Everything is not the same as it was 10 or 15 years ago. So,
Right.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, because I judged a few people before and I said they wasn't pretty on their score sheet. Yes, that was
Yes.
me. Yeah, that's true. So you're hearing it from me because maybe their skin wasn't clear, maybe their makeup wasn't good, or the makeup was androgynous looking that it didn't look pretty. But yes, that was me. So, but I've grown from that, and I can't say look, that's ugly. I can't say everybody that's been crying has been pretty at Renaissance.
They haven't.
So that's what I'm
Oh,
saying. So that's not true. But people say what they gotta say.
Okay. So when you say you've grown from 15 years, and time on to current day. What are
Yes,
some things that you think you've changed as far as the Renaissance system or the image of Renaissance that you could kind of fit in to where anyone feels like they could be accepted at Renaissance? If that, because at one time you were considered you got to be pretty over there and you got to look this certain way. Do you think you've changed that throughout the years, or
absolutely. You got to be
okay?
the best version of you. And I think that's the big thing. I think, contestants will call me and they say, well, what are you looking for? And I mean, and I know they probably hate it when I say, I'm looking for the best version of you. I want you to be the best version of yourself because that's where we are in this climate. We have to grow with times. And it's like I tell my judges, even like with talent. If a guy wants to come in and do a woman's song and sing it live, that's talent. Who said he had to lip sync? Or if a guy comes in and he wants to be a ballet dancer and he doesn't lip sync, who said he had to lip sync? Or a girl comes in and she got a tenor voice and she wants to sing a man's song. Who says she can't do that? My thing is we have to start accepting talent as talent. We have to start accepting guys' femininity and guys' masculinity as guys.
Okay.
Same thing with females. We can't expect every female to be prissy and soft and on stage. Sometimes we got to take the truck drivers if that's
You're
what
right.
works for the program. So
Okay. Have you, in your 25 years, ever had to make an executive decision?
always, every year.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm just joking. I am just joking. I'm
No,
just
you're
joking.
not.
No, I know. I've never had to make an executive decision. I really
Okay.
haven't. And for the first, I'm gonna say for the first 15 years, it was tough because the people that I wanted to win didn't always win.
Mhm.
They didn't always win. And I'm like, ooh,
Okay. Okay.
ooh.
Where
I
do
mean,
you think that
and I'll
comes
even give you an
from?
example. I'm gonna give you an, I'm gonna take it even further. I'm gonna give you an example. The year that Daryl Kent and Kelly R. Hall competed,
Mhm.
I just knew Kelly was gonna be my king. That's exactly who I wanted to be my king. I just thought Kelly was gonna be my king. And Daryl Kent just mopped the floor. He was articulate, he was intelligent, he was a fat white boy. I didn't think he was gonna win.
Mhm.
And boom, he mopped the floor in the interview. He mopped the floor in on stage panel, and there was Mr. Renaissance, and that was Sonny's king. God rest his soul. But he was a great king. But I just knew that Kelly was gonna be the king.
Mhm.
At that point, that's when I stopped saying who I thought was gonna win because I don't judge the pageant. I put the judges in place that knows how to judge,
Mhm.
and they don't
Gotcha.
always hand me what I want, but they hand me what they think was best.
When you're handed what you think, when you're handed, have you ever been handed something and been like, no, can we fix this? And of course you couldn't, but had that ever came across your mind?
Yes. Yes. But did I fix it? No.
Okay. Gotcha.
No.
Gotcha.
I
I know
dealt.
one in particular. Oh, yeah.
Who was that? No. Who was that? Who was that?
No, we'll be quiet on that. But I appreciate you being honest and candid
No.
about that because
No.
some owners won't do that and say, well, yeah, it's a beauty pageant. Yeah, I didn't always want her to always just be politically correct. So I appreciate that for you.
No. Politics are out the window, babe. We're in a climate where we got to be real and authentic.
Right. Would you, as an owner, not accept somebody's entry fee?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a few out there that thank God they haven't knocked on my doorstep yet, but there's a few out there that I wouldn't accept their entry fee.
But is there a particular reason why? Was it something
Character,
personal or was it
public,
their image of the community?
public character.
Okay.
They're hostile publicly, so I
Okay.
know that they'll be hostile in my house. I'm not going to invite them in.
Okay.
If I accept your entry fee, I'm going to invite you in to sit at my table.
Okay.
But
Okay.
no, I wouldn't. If I said I don't want their entry fee because I don't think they will come and disrupt my peace, my house.
Okay. Gotcha. Speaking of disrupting your peace and disrupting your house, you've had to let someone out this year. How hard was that decision for you?
Very difficult. Very difficult.
And could you be very clear while we have these people on here? Who is the person begging you not to get rid of them?
You were. My thing was, we knew that she was difficult, and people, like I said, we don't fight battles publicly. We knew that we were having some difficult times, and we that went on for what? How many months? 2 to 3 months? 2 months? Yeah. We had some difficult times, and we tried to hold on, but it wasn't until a straw that was handled that I finally said I had to make that executive decision, and you have to go. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, that was the issue. We didn't want to. We wanted to hold on. I wanted to groom and nurture her and to help her to be the better version that she was, but she just wasn't ready.
And I noticed the trend this year with a lot of systems. There's a lot of dethroning going on. It wasn't just Renaissance. It was several other
Yeah, it
major
was
systems. Do you think that that affects that particular entertainer or the system most?
both. It hurts both.
Okay.
It hurts both. I mean, it definitely hurts both because again, you got your naysayers that want to beat up the system because they're looking for a reason anyway. Then you
Mhm.
got your then you got your naysayers that don't want her or him as a title holder because of how they acted at said system.
Mhm.
But there are always two sides to every story.
Mhm.
There's always two sides to every story.
Do you think an entertainer can grow from being dethroned?
Absolutely. I think we all can grow. I believe in second chances. Now, I don't believe in third and fourth and fifth chances, but I definitely believe in second chances. When a person shows you who they are, believe them. But now it's up to that person to make the changes. But I do believe people can change. You know, we all go through things. We all have things that happen. We all definitely make different. Matter of fact, Natasha Braxton, my head
Mhm.
judge. My head judge. Natasha resigned from Renaissance for personal reasons. For personal reasons. And I probably had, I probably wasn't as loving and nurturing and all of those things either. So I probably had something to do with it. But she resigned from Renaissance. And to this day, that's why she is back in the fold. Because she came back and said, I was going through some personal things and I'm sorry. Let's get past that. And she is one of the best forevers that I could ever possibly ask for and have. So life happens. Life
Mhm.
happens.
Yeah.
So no, I truly believe that we truly can grow from our mistakes.
Mhm. How, and I don't know how you want to speak on this, but this is something that is always brought up. And we're here for you to clear things up. Um, Money.
Mhm, mhm.
Personally, I know these two people on the phone has never had an issue when it came to money. We got paid. Every time I went to Continental, US of A, All American Goddess, Diamond of the South, whenever I was out of town, the cash app was always going off. We got our money the next day after we ate and stuff like that. So we didn't have an issue with money. But why is it always this issue that Randall doesn't have his money or Randall didn't pay or this and the other? Where do you think that comes from? Or has that happened in the past?
Negativity. That's all it is.
Okay.
Trinity, it's about negativity. What happens with money most of the time is a couple of things. People don't tell their side of the story. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. Back in the day, back in the wonderful day of Renaissance starting, you would have kings and queens who asked for extra perks, whether that was to pay a light bill, to pay some money on their rent, for gas money, things of that nature. But they didn't want to pay you back because they were supposed to pay you back.
Oh.
See, that's what I said. People don't understand the whole truth of everything. They didn't want to pay you back. Or even had one to ask me, can you send me $500 to get my boyfriend out of jail? See, they don't tell their stories. See, that's why I said I don't fight publicly.
Mhm.
They don't tell their stories. So you never paid me back my 500. So were you expecting me to give you some money at your give up?
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm.
Well, we'll get our money because we haven't bought anything from
No, I'm just being facetious. No, I'm just saying, most of the time that came from people who actually owed me money.
you.
But
Right.
but
Okay.
they wanted to tell their story.
Okay.
They
To
wanted to
make
tell
you look
their
like the
story.
villain and them look like the. Okay, gotcha.
Correct. And
Somebody has to be
again,
the villain in the story.
correct. And I wasn't gonna argue with them. I wasn't gonna fight with them. I'm not gonna do that. First of all, I had to have a thick skin to do this. That's why mental health is so important.
Hmm.
I have to have a thick skin to do this. And I do this all by myself. So
Mhm.
all of y'all naysayers who Randall ain't got his money, I'll gladly take your cash app. I'll gladly take your sponsorship. Please support a contestant. Make sure you come and buy a table. Make sure you come in and get a VIP ticket. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Come and support. If you're concerned that Randall ain't got his money, give me some money.
Mhm.
You know, you got to have a thick skin for this stuff. And that's what I think people don't realize. Sure, you get people who make promises to you throughout the year. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna sponsor this, and I'm gonna sponsor that. And at the end of the day, they don't come through.
Right.
Mhm.
They don't come through. But
King,
who ends up looking bad?
you
All right.
are the owners, or yeah.
Are the owners, because that's what they want to say. Oh, well, he didn't have his money, but nobody knows that so and so had promised $2,000, and he just happened to be $2,000 pulling $2,000 from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that people don't tell their story. They tell their side, or they run with what someone else told them.
And then mix it, intertwine it, and all of that. Yes. King, you got any questions?
No, I'm glad that you were able to clear that up. And we know that there are multiple stories, multiple layers of it. But I think that it was just important that you did do that because it was weird. The whole reign was weird because it was almost like people wanted us to say that something happened that did not
Well, I
happen.
think
And
I would think that they would. Well, let me.
yeah, well,
I would
it
think
was
people
like
would
people trying
know
to
if.
surf us into that.
I think that people. I would honestly think that people would understand. I wouldn't have been so enthralled in my reign if I wasn't being treated fairly. Because I
Correct.
didn't mind calling out the one system that I wanted when I wasn't getting money. And that's so
Mm.
interesting to me that you're the only promoter that gets so butt bashed for getting money. And I'm still waiting on money from other promoters. But that's neither here nor there. We're past that and healed. But I think that it's sad that you get the bad end of the stick for stuff
Yeah.
like that and everyone else doesn't.
Treated
And
But
because they don't know me. They honestly,
yeah.
that's the big. I think that's the biggest issue. Is I'm not up in a lot of people's faces. I'm not up hanging out. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a public smoker. I'm not a partier. So I'm a little bit isolated. And that's probably a part of my isolation is a part of the reason why they can attack me with that, because they don't know me.
But there's nothing
okay.
wrong with you being isolated. I think that, to me, my opinion is those of us that have had great experiences with you, we have to be more vocal about it because
Yes, correct,
silence is agreement. Because
correct,
if you say nothing and people are implying things and you
correct,
choose to say nothing, then you are a part of the problem. And I think that
correct.
that is more important because Trinity kind of referred to it already. We were not calling you to pay bills. We were not calling you
Profit.
saying we're stranded because we took a trip to Atlanta and
Correct.
overspent or whatever the case may be. So we didn't have those types of little issues. And I get it. I get that
Mm-hmm.
some people they win these titles because they feel like now I'm gonna have this open bank account to
Money
just get
bags.
whatever I
Correct.
want
Right.
from my
Correct.
promoter.
Right.
But I never saw you as my promoter of my light bill. Like I
Right.
just never saw you as that. And so I think that's important, but I think that we are also Trinity, myself, Scooby, Vanessa. I think that we are also in financially, we're not in those same positions that some of them may have been
Correct.
when they
Correct.
reigned.
Correct.
So therefore,
Correct.
they were looking for more because they simply had less. Whereas with
Correct.
us, we were blessed enough to not need any more than what you said you were going to give. And I tell people all the
Correct.
time, he's not told me one lie yet.
Mm-mm.
He made it clear that we don't have to do all those walks and we don't want to do them. Every walk we did, he supported us, but he did not tell us
Yeah.
we had to do the walk. He was
And that's
very
what
clear.
when trying to recruit, and I hate that word, I hate that, but when trying to talk to contestants, that's always the first thing. Oh, he don't want me over there because I don't like this, or
That's
the money. I'm like, I have never had
mm-hmm.
any
No.
issues, and I've been
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, and I've been places, and you've been like, why you didn't tell me you was going, and
Right.
then you sit money, you know what I'm saying? I think those are it's important, like King said, it's important that because all the stories are always told negative. When we
Mm-hmm.
try to tell the positive, it's almost like y'all lying. And we're
Right.
like, no,
Right.
we not.
It's like
Right.
they're
Like,
begging us to say that you
or
did
y'all just want
something.
contestants. Y'all
Uh,
just want contestants. No, I
right.
couldn't
Right.
care less because I don't want nobody coming after me that's going to not
No,
hold
my
up the same
favorite
thing.
queen, but my favorite queen, we're at the end now, but at the beginning, I'm not going to call him out because he's a ally. But someone said, "Oh, don't worry, y'all at the top. By the end, he's going to get y'all." Well, we're at the end, and we ain't got God.
We ain't
We
got
had
God
got
yet.
now
Right.
we had a little hiccup, me and him. But again, that was not big. It was just I read something
Well,
wrong. It
it
was
was
written.
such a small, but that was such a small hiccup. I found out on the show tonight with y'all people. So that's how
Yeah,
small it
Okay.
it
was.
wasn't even that. Me and Randall talked about it because me and Randall. Now, one thing about Randall, y'all. He loved the tea, and y'all know I do too. So me and Randall think we'll call, girl, did you get there? And we'll
Right.
talk and we'll gossip.
Right.
And I hadn't heard from Randall in about a week. He hadn't heard from me in about a week. I was like, she cooking it. And then he called. He was like, oh yeah, I hadn't heard from you. You ain't called me with no tea. You must be
Uh-huh.
mad at me.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And so we talked it out, and it was just really just a misunderstanding that I could have honestly picked up on and said, now, Randall, what did you mean by that? And I
Right.
could have been in my fields or whatever, what have you. But that's
Mhm.
neither here nor there.
It was a
I
human
just been
art. It was
great.
a human disagreement.
Yeah, it
Right.
was.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
but
something
that's
really,
what
really small.
that's what
Yeah.
life is all about. Family members and people and friends, you're gonna disagree. You don't have to get angry and mad and be, oh, F them. I ain't gonna. No, it's not about that anymore. It's not about that. So that's why I said, no, it
Yeah.
was like, girl, now honey, you ain't gave me no tea lately, because I'm like, oh, did you hear what? Well, I want to know what's going on. Like, but that's the relationship, and that's what's
Yeah,
most
cause
important. Yeah.
that's what it was. So we know it's something when them phone calls ain't came through in about 4 days. It's now wait a minute. um, what would you tell a contestant? Because there's several that are on the line, on the phone, are looking to do it. What would you tell them you are looking for if you're looking for something specific?
Like I said earlier, I'm looking for your authentic self. I don't need another Trinity. I don't need another François. I don't need another Nicole or Raquel or Yasmin. I don't need another one of those people or the Symbols, the Neandres. I don't need any of the Christians. I don't need any more of those people
Mhm.
because everybody is different. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. One of our staff members, yesterday we were working on the pageant, and they said, because the Renaissance brand, and I waited. She said it again. She said, well, the Renaissance brand, and I waited, and she said it again. I said, well, what is the Renaissance brand? And she went to stammering. She said, well, it's. I said, okay, I'm listening. What's the brand? She said, well, it's classy. I said, what's the brand? So then I said, the brand changes every year.
Mhm.
You're talking about the image. The
Mhm.
image is regal, royal, renaissance. And regal and royal is subjective. But the brand is the face those 4 or 6 people have for that year. So if that person is fashionable, that's the brand for that year. If that person is articulate, that's the brand for that year. If that person is ghetto, that's the brand for that year. The brand is what you make it.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the brand was this year? If you had to give it one word,
Um, class,
what?
class.
Okay, okay,
All of y'all were very classy, very regal.
okay. Except for when I had my
Vanessa,
breast out.
well, no, no, no. Vanessa with her no clothes on, and you with your breast out. It still was done in a classy way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Y'all know
No,
he
it
used to
still was.
get on to me about that.
No, I just wanted you to try different neck tops. That's all. Just different neck lines. Just don't be a one-hit wonder. So,
Mhm.
because when you
Well,
leave
Gotcha.
me,
see,
I want you to be able to go and do it, to be able to try some different necklines. That's all.
a funny story is our first promo. Someone was being funny, and they were like, they told, well, they were serious. They said, "Why did T.O. make her titties so big?" And I said, "No, baby, that's actually," and I had to show them the proof
Uh-huh.
before he did the ads. I was like, "No, that's real.
That's
That's
real.
And then, of course, he calls and says, Miss Thing, what is going on with your breast? I was like, I can't help it. And then the smaller I get, because, they're implants,
they
they're
look
not
Right.
going
bigger.
anywhere.
They're not going
So
anywhere.
the
Right.
They
more
look
weight I lose,
bigger."
it's just going to be bigger. So we're going to
Uh-huh.
change that soon. But Randall, tell us about this weekend for everyone that's watching, everyone that's coming, everyone that is a former or that is a potential contestant. I see someone that I really would love to do the pageant on the line, but
Maybe
tell
you
us
can
about
recruit
this
them.
weekend.
This weekend is going to be fun, filled, and exciting. We're going to start out Saturday morning at 9 a.m. That is going to be our registration. At 10 a.m. is orientation with our contestants, as well as at the end of that, we will bring in the panel of judges so that those judges can get Q&A with the contestants. And then at 11 o'clock, we will start interviews, and we start with our male contestants. And once we do that, then at 4 p.m. at Best Friends here in Atlanta, we will have our Harvest Feast that is hosted by Best Friends, and it is sponsored through Renaissance Cares as well as A Vision for Hope. So we're looking forward to doing a Harvest Feast from 4 to 7 at Best Friend on Saturday. Then hopefully you guys can hang out on Saturday night at your respective places and get prepared for Sunday. And Sunday we will do formal rehearsal at 11 a.m. 12 o'clock will be contested rehearsal. V sponsoring a lunch and learn at 2 at the hotel, at the Starling Hotel. And then the pageant will start promptly at 6. We have VIP tables available, and now that will go up. So you can contact me if you want a VIP table or VIP seat. That's happening this weekend, as well as general admission. VIP seats are $60. VIP, regular general admission is $40.
Okay. And check in for National Walk is 5:30.
It's 5:30.
And the Harvest Feast is for anyone, correct?
It's for anybody. So all your friends, your fans, your loved ones, that's when you can come fellowship with us. All of us will be there from 4 to 7 at Best Friends in College Park.
Okay. And should they be prepared for the Monday night show if they win?
Absolutely.
Okay. All righty. So y'all hear that? This will be a great weekend, 5 days. And so yeah. Randall, is there anything that you want to say?
No,
Clear up,
I
defend.
I hope no. I hope you guys got all the questions. Did anybody in the community have any questions? Did any of the community have any questions?
I've been
Mhm.
checking
I mean,
randomly.
no questions, just different comments.
Oh, good.
Um,
Yeah,
Hopefully, I've answered all the questions that they
Hopefully you.
need.
I think that you pretty did a pretty good job with that. What do you
Okay,
want your legacy to be when you're gone?
that I made people better. That
mm,
that's really that I made people better.
Huh?
Like I said, we're not perfect, but we're imperfectly flawed. But what I like about it is that just try to be the best self, be your best self. We've been spending a lot of time in the last year on mental health, and you guys did a summit with us with Oracle, and they'll be here this weekend. Oracle will be here. They're all coming in. They have a table. And you guys did one of our chats on Oracle with their community. And I just want to really focus on mental health because mental health equals mental wealth. And we've got to just be positive and try to uplift one another and not tear each other down so that we can truly be better than what we found it. Because this is a tough community. And what I have an issue with is, and I know we're in the political climate, but they're tearing us down. The LGBTQIA community is in trouble. You've got what, about 2% transgender people in the world, and they're putting a political attack on our trans community.
yeah,
That's a small percentage of the world. Now, our gay population is a lot more, but our trans community, they're using us as guinea pigs to divide and conquer. So my thing is we have got to learn how to stick together and stop letting pageantry um, define us or hurt us or make us mad or make us angry and go on Facebook that somebody didn't speak to me or that judge gave me a score that I didn't like. And come on, people, let's try to get along and do better. Everybody can't win and everybody don't like what you present.
yeah.
That
But
Yes,
let's,
go ahead.
as a judge, owner, promoter,
Mhm.
how do you on the other end deal with that when you feel like you've been cheated? How are we as contestants supposed to handle when we feel like our money and time has been played with and wasted and we've been cheated? How are we supposed to handle that? How would you
Uh,
recommend we handle that?
I recommend that you handle that by having a safe haven of people that you can talk to, get some mental counseling, get some help. But we do it on our jobs every day. We do it on our jobs every day. Even though our job is paying us, but our jobs give us a hard time all the time. We do it with our friends every day. Our friend circle gives us a hard time. We have disagreements. So my thing is, we don't always have to take everything to Facebook. Everything ain't. There's nothing wrong with rallying and being a trooper and getting out there and getting your civil rights right. But everybody been wronged after a pageant. Everybody ain't wronged. Every day that I go to work, I ain't wrong.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is find other avenues because oftentimes you're not even there's no validity. Even in what you're saying, there's no validity. You subject yourself to be judged by the standards that the pageant provides. Everybody don't see it the way you see it. You may see it flawlessly. Everybody else may see your flaws. So that's how they're judging you. Every judge ain't gonna see it the exact same way. Every judge ain't gonna give you the same score. Sorry. Because you know what happens? And I know this is a good judging criteria. We all walk into a pageant as a judge with perceived biases. Do y'all know what that is?
Yes.
I have a perceived bias. Okay, y'all. Now y'all getting ready to get a whole lot of Randall right now. I have a perceived bias in my cisgendered pageants. And I got a perceived bias on my gay pageants. We'll talk about that one too. In my cisgendered pageants, I have a perceived bias. If a fat girl comes before me, I ain't gonna crown her.
Mm.
I don't care how smart, how articulate, and how beautiful she is. Because the standard of the beauty pageant was she couldn't be fat. We don't rarely crown a fat girl in our cisgender pageants. So because I'm from the old school, that's how my mindset still sets up. I walk into it thinking, I'm not gonna crown a fat girl. Now, have I crowned a fat girl? Yes. But did she convince me to change my mind? Yes. But my point is, I walked into it with a perceived bias. We all walk into a perceived bias because we like certain things. Some of us like blonde hair. Some of us like black hair. Trinity, I love you in blonde hair. You say, oh no, everybody says I want to be black hair. So again, it's perceived biases, right? Everybody say Randall is not going to crown an ugly girl. Well, guess what? In the gay community, you're right. I do look for beauty first. I do look for beauty. And I look for beauty of makeup. So if you do a lot of chalk painting and all of that stuff, as a judge, if I see that, then you haven't convinced me that that's beauty.
Mhm.
That's a perceived bias. So people got to stop going into thinking people don't have a perceived bias. Some people like short people. Some people like tall people. Some people like curvy people. Some people like big breasts. Some people like big thighs. Whatever. Some people like light skin. Some people like dark skin. Some people like white people. Some people like black people. Some people like curly hair. We all walk into a pageant with perceived biases. So we've got to stop thinking that we judge people on the same scale.
Yeah.
No. So
Gotcha.
that's why I said people aren't real with themselves. I'm real. I have a perceived bias. Now, can that person get past me? Absolutely. But they got to do their work to get past me. But I walk into a pageant with a perceived bias. Because I think in my cisgender community, we always said a girl who was heavy was unfit.
And
That's a nugget. There's a nugget for you. See? So I'm sure some things will come back and bite me, but it's okay.
it always does.
It does, but it's okay. I'm used to it. I got tough skin and my back is thick. So
Right. Well, before we do the jewel, we just want to say thank you again. Um, don't forget tomorrow, guys. We have the iconic Tasha Long, same time,
yes,
same place. So make sure you tune
Asha.
into the. She
And
will
she's in
wrap
the
it up for us
comments.
on the
I,
all.
I will tell y'all a funny story. I will
Okay.
tell y'all a funny story about Tasha.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I know I'm making it longer.
No, no, you're fine.
Um, Tasha was one of the first drag girls that I admired. I would sneak from the from my high school. I had a good friend of mine. He was a Caucasian gentleman, and we would sneak to Birmingham and go to Club 21.
Uh huh.
And to the other one that was in Tasha, what was that club that was down in the alley? They used to have Miss Gay US of A, Miss Alabama Gay US of A. Gosh, what was that club? It was down in that little alley with the brick walkway. Um, and we would go to Birmingham and because I thought you were gonna ask me this. I can't believe you. I gotta give you these nuggets, Trinity. We would go to Birmingham and go to the drag shows. And Tasha was one of the first drag girls, black drag girls. I thought, oh my gosh, I was in awe. And then I called myself was gonna do drag.
Oh,
Uh-huh. So you didn't even ask that. Uh-huh.
we
I
was just
called
trying to
myself,
get to the
okay,
deep.
okay, Johnny Thomas, you can type that name in there. So I don't know how Johnny Thomas found out. Well, what was it called? Bell.
Bell.
Huh? Okay. Johnny, I don't know. I don't know if Johnny Thomas is listening, but Johnny Thomas always calls me this name, and I always ignore him because it's funny. But I called myself going to do drag. So when I got to the University of Alabama, my friends, well, even before I got to Alabama, my friends put me in drag. So I did a pageant in Birmingham, in Gadsden. I was a hot fool, and I did a pageant in Montgomery at Ho John's, and Tasha was at Ho John's working. And I've always said, I hope Tasha don't remember who I was, but she probably doesn't remember who I am back then, from back then. But I did a pageant in Ho John's in Montgomery.
Hmm.
Of course, I was nowhere near. I was playing drag. I was literally playing in drag, but I knew that wasn't for me. But I did Jennifer Holiday, and I'm telling you, I'm not going. And Jennifer and I just happen to be friends to this day, which is ironic. Uh, but um, but yeah, so that's how I met Tasha from just watching her in the Birmingham days in Montgomery and Ho Johns. I forgot the owners of Ho Johns, their names that she used to work for. So Tasha has always been someone that I admired and somebody that I looked up to. So that will be a great interview tomorrow. So
Yes.
hopefully
Bill's Watley.
Bill's
Bill's
Watley. Yes.
Watley here.
Okay, got it. Got it.
So yeah, make sure you tune in tomorrow, guys, and we will see you all on this weekend. So King has the nugget for you.
So, Randall, as you know, at the end of the show, we ask our icons to leave us with a nugget or leave our viewers with a nugget that we can take with us through our journey. It doesn't have to be pageant related, just in life, period. So, what is a nugget you've given us a million nuggets. Like, let's be clear, you gave us a sermon. But
The
what is one nugget that you can leave with us?
the one great thing I would say is be the best version of yourself. Who else is better qualified?
Mm, like that.
Thank you so much. We'd like to say hello to Braxton, and his associates are on tonight.
Hi, Braxton. How are you? Oh, Braxton told me. Well, I listened to Braxton's live the other day, and I thought it was very interesting. Braxton said that we were in a clique, and Braxton, please tell
Oh,
that clique to come help me out at the pageant.
Oh, the pageant click.
The pageant clique.
Oh,
I was
yes.
like, wow. And he said, oh, and Renaissance, and I was like, wow, I never thought I was in a clique. So thank you, Braxton, for putting me in that clique. But I want to find. Please tell that clique to show up.
Yeah, like we show up.
Yes, please show up for the clique because I didn't know
and
I was
buy a
in a clique.
table. Buy a
Huh?
table.
Yes.
Yes,
Well,
I
we
didn't know I was
thank
in a
you.
clique. Thank you
We
for listening,
thank you
though.
for this hour and 15 minutes. I'm glad you were able to get on and clear up some things. I'm glad that you were able to publicly state that I was your best queen ever.
You were the
I'm
best
glad.
ever.
Hey,
I missed
Nicole. Hey,
that. I'm
Tasha.
gonna have to take it back and listen to a show again.
Okay.
You say what?
I'm gonna have to take it back, rewind it so I can catch that part.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't. You had clicked off. It's okay. You know, you do that. You typically do that a lot. But if you are watching
There's
this
always a
weekend, we will
read,
be in
baby.
Atlanta for Renaissance to give up our titles. I can't believe it's been a year. It's been a great year. I have really enjoyed Randall and everything that he offered and taught us. So make sure that you all definitely, if you can, come support Starling Sunday 6 p.m. If not, all of our cash outs will be presented.
Yes.
So definitely hit up if you have any questions, last minute questions, contestants, patrons, anyone traveling in. You can hit any of us up, and we look forward to seeing
Yeah.
everyone this weekend. I am actually on my way to my fitting for my final walk gown, and I need to find some songs to do for my final walk number.
All
Well,
right.
So
and thank you again, Rhonda, for giving us such a beautiful platform and allowing us to reign the way we felt it was necessary to reign. I thought that was a big nugget for everybody who reigns or who owns a pageant to take away. When Randall said that the brand changes every year depending on who's reigning. And I thought that was very, very remarkable. I thought that was a very iconic statement because it makes a lot of sense because people often look at whoever's reigning and they create their package around those individuals if they are effective, if they did an
Mhm.
effective job rating. So thank you so much for allowing us to be ourselves and accepting us as we were.
You guys have been amazing, and I appreciate you, love and appreciate you, and thank you for believing in Renaissance, but most importantly, thank you for believing in me.
You're welcome, and we'll see you this weekend.
See
This
y'all
weekend,
tomorrow with
see
Tasha
everybody.
See y'all
Long.
See
tomorrow
y'all
with
tomorrow with
Tasha.
Tasha.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.